If you're watching this video and you're hoping to push some sort of narrative, this video isn't for you. Caitlin Clark has been in the WNBA for a few months now, and for a new fan like myself, this has been extremely annoying. I've been watching women's college basketball for years. Like, I grew up watching Candace Parker, Brittany Griner, Maya Moore, a bunch of other players. That was more of my era, but I've always enjoyed women's college basketball more than the men's college basketball. Like, I would rather watch a million Hot Tour remix videos before I watch a men's college basketball game. It's so terrible to me. But when it comes to the women's game, usually I keep an eye out for the big name players in college, but for some reason, whenever they would get drafted to the WNBA before this season, I just didn't care anymore. I remember watching Sabrina Ionescu. I feel like I always pronounce her name wrong, but I remember watching Sabrina when she was in college, and then I had no idea who drafted her. It's like I would turn on ESPN and it's like, oh, tonight is the WNBA draft. And then a few days later, I would turn on ESPN and it's like, oh, tonight is the WNBA championship. And it's like, when did this happen? Before this season, it feels like the marketing for the WNBA was pretty much non-existent. Like, I'm sorry, I missed the 1 p.m. Saturday game on Ion because I just watch Ion all the time. Ion is one of my favorite channels. But all of that pretty much changed for me with this new draft class featuring Angel Reese, Cameron Brink, Caitlin Clark, and of course a bunch of other players. It's really unfortunate, but the conversation around sports has and will always be toxic. Like, I've seen so many bad takes, so many stupid arguments. I mean, I've been watching ESPN my entire life, but the conversation around the WNBA has been some of the worst that I've ever heard. I've said this before in another video that I made, but it seems like people care about everything but the game of basketball. Like, I saw on Twitter the other day, people made a thread laughing at Caitlin Clark because of the outfits that she wore before the game. Who cares? The WNBA could be taking a few steps forward and then somebody's gonna complain and somebody's gonna find something to cry about. I'm very open about it. I am a new WNBA fan. I've watched more games this season than I probably have total my entire life. WNBA players and fans have complained about not getting recognition for years, and so you want new fans and then you get new fans and then you complain about the new fans. Obviously, I'm not talking about the idiots and the racists who take things too extreme. I'm talking about people like me who genuinely just want to see good basketball. What kills me and always makes me laugh is when longtime WNBA fans think they're cool and think they're hurting somebody's feelings and being like, you're a new WNBA fan. And I'm like, so? Like, damn, I'm sorry that I'm putting money in your pocket and I'm a part of the new eyes that you've been begging for years. As a new fan, I don't get into arguments about this player being better than this player because I don't know. Like, I know Asia Wilson and Breanna Stewart are both dogs, but I don't know enough about their pro career to say that this player is better than the other one, but I do know what good basketball looks like. I can't tell you the amount of losers that I've seen trying to tell people like me, who I'm 30 years old, I've been watching basketball for like 25, 26 years, trying to tell people like me that I don't know basketball because now I'm watching a player that doesn't have a piece of meat and a pair of balls swinging between their legs. And I don't know, because I could be wrong, but I feel like in the WNBA, the point is still for the ball to go into the hoop, right? Like, I feel like in the WNBA, they got layups, they got three-pointers, they got pick and rolls. Like, bro, we're watching basketball. It seems like it's such a negative energy around the WNBA, and it sucks because we're talking about all this stupid stuff instead of talking about how talented these women are. Honestly, I feel bad for Caitlin Clark because I couldn't imagine the stress that she deals with on a daily basis. Like, every single thing she says or does is going to get heavily criticized. Like, I would imagine this is how LeBron felt when he was coming out of high school, but at least he didn't have to deal with social media. Caitlin Clark is such a polarizing figure, and she comes with such a large fan base that I can see how people say that it's overwhelming or it's annoying, especially if you're a current WNBA player or if you're a longtime WNBA fan and you look at other players and you feel like they deserve that attention more than her. Obviously, Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese are going to be linked together forever, but it's so annoying to me how every single thing they do, people somehow manage to turn it into a race issue. As a black man, yes, I'm a fan of Angel Reese. I love her energy. I love that she got that dog in her. I love that she don't take crap from nobody. Even though I don't agree with everything she says or does, she's a great talent. She's been on the crazy streak with the double-doubles, and she just had 27 and 10 against Seattle the other day, and she wants her credit for helping grow the game along with Caitlin Clark, and she rightfully does deserve that. But it's levels. And again, as a black man, I'm also a fan of Caitlin Clark. You can't deny the numbers. I mean, almost every game she plays in gets millions of views on TV. Every Fever game seems to break some sort of attendance record. And so the fan vote of the WNBA All Star game just came out. And can you guess who was the highest vote getter? Caitlin Clark. Can you guess who was the second highest vote getter? her teammate Aaliyah Boston. Both of them got more votes than A'ja Wilson. What's even crazier for that is that voting for the All-Star game has risen by 600%, and last year not a single player got over 100,000 votes. Caitlin Clark had the most votes with over 700,000, and multiple players had over 100,000 votes, which is crazy. The way that my brain works, that should be a good thing, right? That means that the game is growing, we got more eyes in the game more than ever, we got people voting more than ever. 600% is crazy, but no, people still find something to complain about. Why does Caitlin Clark have more votes than A'ja Wilson? Let's all laugh at Angel Reese because she only has 300,000 votes. It's always something. And the media is already playing a role in this. Like, they act like you can't have any sort of balance. Like, you can praise Caitlin Clark without having to put down other players, and you can praise other players without having to put down Caitlin Clark. Granted, you got to take it with a grain of salt because this is Twitter, but according to Twitter, they said that they had a 50-minute discussion where they talked about a bunch of topics and they talked about Rookie of the Year, and they say not a single person mentioned Caitlin Clark's name in a 50-minute conversation. Now, if that is true, that is crazy. And then you got people like Monica McNutt on ESPN who said that she's basing her Rookie of the Year vote based on which team has the better record, which by that logic, that makes no sense to me. That's like saying that Chet Holmgren deserved to win Rookie of the Year over Victor Wembanyama even though he had a historical season. Like, what are we talking about? Are we talking about Rookie of the Year or MVP? Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark are both having historical seasons. If you don't know who you're voting for at this point, that's okay, but you don't have to tear down one person to hype up the other one. Like, I don't know who I would vote for at this point. I mean, granted, I don't have a vote, but it's a lot of season left. Caitlin Clark is the fastest player to reach 500 points, 100 assists, 100 rebounds. She's shooting around the same field goal percentage as Angel Reese, even though she's shooting a much farther distance. She's being covered literally the entire floor, and she's the first rookie to ever get a triple-double. They are both having great and historical seasons, and I just know that regardless, whoever wins that award, it is going to be complete chaos on the internet. And forget the presidential election, this might be the thing that take the race war to a whole new level. For me personally, I just want to see good hoops. And it sucks that instead of us celebrating just how great and how historic this season is, we're sitting around talking about a bunch of stupid stuff. Like, conversation around the NBA has always been extremely toxic, but what the WNBA is experiencing is just exhausting and unfortunate. But thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe if you're new here. We talk about a bunch of different things on this channel. What are your thoughts on this topic? Who is your Rookie of the Year? And are you like me? Are you annoyed and you just feel like the conversation surrounding the WNBA is just exhausting? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Love you guys. Tell someone you love them. Until next time, see you in the next life.